sa ating lahat. Ang ating lesson for today is all about the rational numbers, and this is our lesson for week 5 Mathematics grade 7 for our first quarter. So, rational numbers. Ano nga ba yung tinutukoy natin na rational numbers? But before we proceed with our discussion, syempre kailangan muna nating malaman ano ba yung ating lesson objectives for today. So, ang ating lesson objectives for today is all about Una is to express rational numbers from fraction form to decimal form, and of course, vice versa. Ibig sabihin, kailangan matutunan natin kung paano ba gagawing decimal kapag ang given ay fraction, and the same, paano natin gagawing fraction if the given is decimal. Okay? And then, perform operations on rational numbers. But, first time nyo bang narinig ang rational numbers? So, if that is the case, rational numbers are the numbers which can be written as a quotient of two integers, wherein a over b and b should not be equal to 0. So, lahat daw ng numbers na pwede natin gawin into form of ratio, o yung parang fraction or division, okay? So, that is considered as a rational numbers. So, pagpalagay natin na a over b, where b is not equal to 0. Bakit kaya bawal maging 0 yung letter b or yung ating denominator? Since yung a is the numerator, b is the denominator, bakit bawal maging 0 ang denominator? Kasi, hindi tayo nagdi-divide ng 0 sa denominator. Kasi, that will become undefined. Okay, halimbawa, 7 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, so there's no specific or concrete definition from that. Pero kung 0 divided by 7, 0 yung nasa taas, the answer will always be equal to 0. Pero kapag 0 nasa ilalim, it can't be. Okay, ang tawag doon ay undefined. So, kapag ganoon na 0 ang nasa ilalim, that is not a rational number. Okay, unang case pa lang yun. Okay? Next, rational numbers. Di sabi ko nga, yung na ta-transform in a form of a ratio or yung may quotient of two numbers. Kapag hindi rational number ang isang given, therefore, we can call them as irrational number. Kapag hindi rational, di ang tawag ay irrational numbers. So, I have here some number, then you will identify whether it is rational or irrational. Example, 8. So, what do you think is 8? Is it rational or irrational? Okay, so that is a rational number. So, bakit po naging rational number si 8? Kasi 8 can be transformed as 16 divided by 2. Diba na-form natin siya into a quotient or yung parang fraction form. Tama? 16 divided by 2 is equal to 8. Pwede nga 8 divided by 1 is equal to 8. Ganun din. Okay? Next. 0. Is it rational or irrational number? Okay, so that is a rational number. Kasi we can consider 0 as a rational number kasi siya ay isang integer. Okay? Yung 8, integer din siya. Yung 0, integer din. So, in simpler terms or in layman terms, all integers are rational numbers. Ibig sabihin kahit yan ay positive, kahit yan ay negative, kasama ang 0. Kasi nga integers, di ba kapag integers, negative, 0, positive, lahat sila ay rational numbers. How about the pi? Ano ba ang value ng pi? Diba 3.14, 15, 92, 65, and so on and so forth. So, since hindi natin siya pwedeng gawing into fraction form kasi hindi natin alam yung exact value niya, okay, ayan, we can consider pi as an irrational number. Okay? Kasi walang katapusan. Diba may tatlong tuldok or yung ellipsis. Okay. Hindi natin siya ma-transform into fraction form. How about negative 5? So, that's an integer. So, obviously, pasok yan sa ating rational numbers. So, paano kaya natin mapapalabas yung negative 5 into fraction form para masabing siya ay talagang rational number aside sa siya ay isang integer? Okay, so we can say that it is the result of negative 10 divided by 2 or the quotient of negative 10 divided by 2. So the answer is negative 5. So that is a rational number. Next, 0.25. Okay, so 0.25 is also a rational number. Bakit po? Kasi 0.25 is equivalent siya sa 25 over 100 or kung ilo-lowest term natin, katumbas siya ng 1/4. Okay? How about square root of 5? Alam ba natin ang mismong or the exact square root of 5? So, square root of 5, punta siya sa irrational number. Since ang value ng square root of 5 ay 2.23607 and so on and so forth. Dahil walang exact roots ang square root of 5, therefore, it is an irrational. How about square root of 81? Square root of 81 is equal to 9. Okay? Kaya ang square root of 81 is a rational number. Since ang square root of 81 is 9, ang 9 is ang integer, therefore, it is a rational number. How about number E? Baka yung iba person na encounter si E. So, ang value ng E, kapag inyong pipindutin sa inyong calculator, the value is 2.71828182 and so on and so forth. So, that is also an irrational number. Okay? Next. Yan. Ngayon, syempre, alam na natin kung ano pinagkaiba ng rational and irrational numbers. Ngayon, una nating lesson objectives is to transform fraction into decimals and vice versa. So, ngayon, unahin natin yung converting fractions into decimal. So, ang given ko ay fraction, gagawin nating decimal. Number 1, express 4/5 in decimal form. So, in the 4/5, gagawin nating decimal form. Okay, so, paano ang gagawin kapag ganyan? All you have to do is to divide 4 and 5. Okay, so, sa loob yung 4, then sa labas yung 5. And 4 divided by 5, using long division, ang lalabas dyan is 0.8. Therefore, 4 over 5 is equivalent to 0.8. So, ganun lang ang gagawin. Kapag fraction, i-divide nyo lang to get the decimal form. Napakadali. Okay, next. Express 9 over 27 in decimal form. So, yung 9 over 27, gagawin nating decimal form. Okay, so just divide sa loob yung... So, express in decimal form the 9 over 27. Okay, so sa loob yung ating 9. Then divide by 27, the answer is 0.33333. Kapag ganyan na nauulit, pwede natin siyang paikliin ng pagsusulat. Okay? Katulad nito, di ba? 9 over 27 is equal to 0.3333 and so on and so forth kasi wala yung katapusan. Dahil yung 3 ay nauulit, pwede natin siyang i-write as 3 lamang, isa. Pero lalagyan natin siya ng bar sa ibabaw or the bar above the repeating number. Tulad dito, ang nauulit ay 3, kaya yung 3 nilagyan ko ng guhit sa ibabaw. Okay? Para mas maikli. That is the simplest way of writing a repeating and non-terminating decimal. Next. Ayan. Okay, before we proceed with converting decimal into fraction, alamin muna natin ano ba yung mga types of decimal numbers para tayo ay hindi malito mamaya. Una, ang halimbawa, 0.25. Diba exact? Okay, walang kasunod. 0.25. So, that's what you call the terminating decimal. O sa Tagalog, natatapos o tumitigil. Exact. So, ito yung parang exact decimal number. So, these decimal numbers have a finite number of digits after the decimal point. Diba after the decimal point, meron na lang tayong 2 digits na bilang ko. Okay, kasi wala namang ellipsis or walang bar sa ibabaw. So, the number of digits after the decimal point of these numbers is countable or nabibilang. Okay? After the decimal point, nabibilang. So, ilan yun? 2 digits after the decimal. How about this one? After the decimal point, we have 4 digits. Countable. Then, next example, after the decimal point, I have here 5 digits. Then, after the decimal point, I have 2 digits again. So, yun yung tinatawag natin terminating decimal or the exact decimals. Yung exacto. Okay? Next, number 2. 0.3333 and so on and so forth. So, dahil siya ay hindi tapos o hindi natin alam kung hanggang kailan siya matatapos or walang katapusan, infinite, so ito yung tinatawag nating non-terminating repeating decimal. Bakit kaya tinawag siyang repeating? kasi nauulit yung ating number 3. Non-terminating, hindi tumitigil, repeating, nauulit. So, ibig sabihin nito, hindi tumitigil pero nauulit na decimals. Okay, 0.3333. Sabi ko kanina kapag ganyan na nauulit yung 3, pwede natin siyang isulat as yung may guhit sa ibabaw. So, the digits after the decimal point of non-terminating decimals repeat endlessly. Or after ng decimal point, hindi natin mabibilang kung ilan yung digits after that. Kasi nga, it is infinite or walang katapusan. Yan, 0.3 na may bar sa ibabaw. So, that is just the same no example dun sa taas. How about 1.9898 and so on and so forth. Ang nauulit is yung 9 and 8. Kapag ganyan, ang inyong isusulat ay 1.98 tapos guhit sa ibabaw kasi 98 yung nauulit. So that's an example of non-terminating, repeating decimal. Next. Non-terminating, non-repeating. Ibig sabihin, hindi natatapos, hindi nauulit. So these decimal numbers have not only an infinite number of digits at their decimal places, but their decimal place digits do not follow a specific order. Example, 1.3687493043. So walang nauulit within intervals or specific period. Yung 3, saka parang nagkaroon ulit ng 3, malayo na. Then, ang sunod sa 3 is 6, 8, 7. So walang nauulit. Tapos may tuldok sa dulo. So that is hindi natatapos or infinite pa din. Ibig sabihin that is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Hindi natatapos at hindi nauulit na decimals. Another example, 1.23456 and so on and so forth. Meron yung ellipsis dun sa dulo. Okay? So that is also non-terminating, non-repeating. Now that we know the different kinds of decimal, we can convert them easily into fractions. So, dun muna tayo sa una, yung ating terminating decimals. So, express 0.8 in fraction form. So, 0.8, kita natin that is a terminating decimal. So, all you have to do, una, yan, 8/10. Bakit kaya naging 8/10? Una nyo gagawin, isusulat sa numerator yung given digits. I-disregard nyo lang yung decimal point. So, ang given digits after the decimal point is 8. Kaya, ang isusulat ko sa taas is 8. Then, bakit po kaya 10 ang nasa ilalim? Kasi kapag tayo magsusulat ng denominator, all you have to do is to select the correct power of 10. So, ano po yung tinatawag nating power of 10? So, power of 10 or the multiples, power of 10 di 10. After 10 is 100. Power of 10, 10, 100, 1,000, okay, something like that. Parang nadadagdagan lang yung 0. Okay, 10, tapos 100. Kung mapapansin nyo, 8 lang yung given. Or 8 lang yung digit na ginamit natin, isa. Kaya sa baba, isa din lamang yung ating 0. 8/10. Okay, yung 1 lagi yun kasi power of 10 niya. Yung 0 lang, yun lang ang madadagdagan. Isang 8, so isang 0 din lang ang gagamitin. So, after that, you have to lowest term or to simplify. 8/10 can be divisible by 2. So, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, yan, lowest term lang. So, 0.8 is equivalent to 4/5 or 4/5. Next. Express 0.85 in fraction form. So, ang nauulit, ang ating given digits ay 85. Disregard natin ang decimal points. So, that is 85. Ilan yung number natin? 2. So, therefore, ang 0 natin dapat ay 2. Kaya, meron tayong 85/100. So, ang power of 10 na ginamit natin is 100. So, given the digits, then, select the correct power of 10. So, lowest term, both divisible by 5. 85 divided by 5 is 17. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So, the final answer is 17/20. Next. Express 0.859 in fraction form. So, dahil tatlo yung 8, 5, 9, tatlo din yung 0 natin sa ilalim. Okay, so 859/1000. Next is to convert non-terminating repeating decimals into fractions. So, example, express in fraction form 0.8 and so on and so forth. Okay, so kapag ganyan, ang gagawin natin, imbis na power of 10 yung ilalagay natin sa denominator, ang gagamitin natin is the number 9. Kung ilan yung digit after the decimal point, yun yung number of 9s na gagamitin natin. Laging 9 kapag non-terminating. Okay? Next. Halimbawa, tulad dyan, 8 yung ating nauulit na number kasi siya yung may guhit sa ibabaw. Kaya ang ilalagay lang natin is ang kanyang fraction form, gagamit tayo ng 9. So, 8 over 9. Kapag non-terminating, 9 ang gagamitin, hindi power of 10. Okay. Yan. Place the repeating numbers in the numerator. So, what is the repeating number? So, the repeating number is 8. Then, sa baba, for the denominator, use the same number of 9s. Kung ilan yung repeating number, yun yung bilang kung ilan ng 9 na isusulat. So, the 0.8 and so on and so forth is equivalent to 8 over 9. Next. Express 0.85, okay, and so on and so forth in fraction form. So, since isusulat daw natin yung repeating numbers in the numerator, so that is 85 over kung ilan yung ating repeating numbers, yun ang number of 9s na gagamitin. So, that is 85 over 99. Ayan. Place the repeating numbers, then use the same number of 9s. So, 85 over 99. Again, ang 9 is ginagamit in non-terminating decimals. Hindi power of 10 ang gagamitin. Next. Express in fraction form. 0.123 tapos may dash sa ibabaw. So, it means 123 divided by 999. Since we have 3 digits or 3 repeating numbers, kaya tatlong 9 yung ating ilalagay sa ilalim. If we can lowest term it, like for example, 123 can be divided by 3. And 999, pwede rin siyang i-divide by 3. So, lowest term natin yan ay yan. 123 divided by 3 is 41. 999 divided by 3 is 333. So, the final answer is 41 over 333. Okay, so okay na tayo sa first lesson objectives, which is to convert decimals into fractions and fractions into decimal. If you think this video is too fast for you, you can pause the video and then you can pwede nyo pag-aralan kung paano nakuha step by step. Next. Ang ating second objectives for this lesson is to perform different operations on rational numbers. So, ano ba yung ating 4 basic operations? Diba, meron tayong addition, meron tayong subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, punta muna tayo sa pagsabay natin ng addition and subtraction. Pero dito, meron tayong tinatawag na similar fractions. So, addition and subtraction of similar fractions. When we say similar fractions, meron tayong 2 given fractions, then, ang kanilang denominator or yung nasa ilalim is the same or magkaparehas. Example. So, paano ang gagawin dyan? Kapag similar fraction, all you have to do is to add or subtract the numerator and then copy the common denominator. If necessary, reduce to lowest term. So, ano ba yung example ng similar fraction? Yun. Add 3 over 8 and 1 over 8. Since parehas 8 yung nasa ilalim, so that is considered as similar fraction. Kasi parehas 8 yung nasa ilalim. Okay? Or yung denominator. Kaya ang gagawin, all you have to do is to add the numerator since addition ng operation. And then just copy the given or the common denominator. And what is 3 plus 1? So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Then 4 over 8. Always reduce to lowest term. So 4 over 8 can be simplified by dividing both numerator and denominator by 4. So the answer will be 1/2. So the final answer is 1/2. Okay, that's the simplified answer. So dun tayo lagi sa pinaka-simplest form. Next. 10 over 45 plus 35 over 45. So since they have the same denominator or they have the common denominator, they are similar fractions. Napakadali nang gagawin. I-add lang yung numerator and then copy the denominator. So, 10 plus 35 is equal to 45. Then, ang ating ilalim is 45 din. So, kung mapapansin nyo, lowest term natin yan, 45 divide 45 is equal to 1. So, the final answer is 1. Okay, so that's the final answer. Next. Paano kapag subtraction naman ng similar fraction? So, the same lamang. 4 over 6 minus 2 over 6. Same denominator, copy, and then subtract the numerator. 4 minus 2 is equal to 2 over 6. Diba? Sinubtract lang natin yung 4 minus 2 and then just copy ito, 6. Kaya meron tayong 2 over 6. Simplify, divide both by 2. The final answer is 1/3. So that's the simplified or the simplest form. Another example, 13 over 7 minus 20 over 7. So, copy the denominator, then subtract 13 minus 20. Kung ano yung nauna, yun ang isusulat nyo dito sa unahan. Then, kung ano yung na dito, di yun ang subtrahin natin. Next. 13 minus 20, kung maaalala ang rules natin in subtracting integers, 13 minus 20 is equivalent to negative 7. And then, just copy ito, 7, kakopy natin sa ilalim, and negative 7 divided by 7 is equal to negative 1. So, that's the simplest form. Pero kung wala nang masisimple, hindi na natin may simplify, that is the final answer na. How about naman kapag hindi similar yung ating fraction? Yan yung tinatawag nating dissimilar fractions. Ito naman ay parang review nyo na lamang kasi ito ay natakal nyo na nung kayo ay elementary. Pero, para ma-recall natin, itakal ulit natin. Okay? Change them to equivalent fractions by finding the least common denominator or the LCD. Then, we have to apply the rules in adding or subtracting fractions with the same denominator. So, kapag dissimilar, gagawin muna natin siyang similar fraction. And paano iyon? Halimbawa, 3 over 4 plus 1 over 6. So, they are dissimilar fractions. Magkaiba yung denominator. Kaya nasabi natin dissimilar. So, ang unang gagawin or the first step is to find the LCD. Ano po ang LCD or the least common denominator? So that is the least number that can divide both denominator. Can be divided by both denominator. Halimbawa, sa 4 at 6, ano yung number na pinakamaliit na pwedeng ma-divide ng 4 at pwede ring ma-divide ng 6? So, di ba, that number is 12. Because 12 divided 4 is 3 and 12 divided 6 is 2. Pwede natin siyang i-divide. After we find the LCD, next step to do, ayan. So, paano po nakuha yan? So, ang unang gagawin, 12 divide 4. Yan. Then, yung sagot, susulat dun sa parenthesis which is 3. Then, yung numerator natin, susulat nyo lang. Gagawin nating multiply. So, parang i-multiply natin yung numerator sa quotient ng LCD at saka ng denominator. So, 3 times 3 plus, okay, next. After that, yung 12, i-divide naman natin by 6. So, saan pupunta? Yung 2, doon. Then, yung 1, just copy. The 1 times 2. And then, since parehas na yung kanilang nasa ilalim, which is 12, okay, proceed na tayo. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 over 12. The final answer is 11 over 12. Next. Okay. 3 over 7 plus 9 over 14 is equal to, ano ang kanilang LCD? So, the LCD is 14. Since 14 can be divided both by 7 and 14. So, paano ito nakuha? 14 divided by 7 is 2. Diba? Kaya, 7, yun. Lalagay dun yung 2. And then yung 3, copy sa labas to multiply. Then, 14 divide 14 is 1. Okay? Nakita yung 1. Then, yung 9, isusulat nyo lang sa tabi ng 1. X. 3 times 2 is 6. 9 times 1 is 9. 6 plus 9 is equal to 15 over 40. So, that's it. Ganyan lamang mag-add and subtract kapag dissimilar fraction. Isa pa. 4 over 8 minus 5 over 12. So, ang kanilang LCD is 24. 24 divide 8 is equal to 3. Then, bring down 4. Yan. Then next, 24 divide 12 is 2 times 5. Ayun, na nasa numerator. Then, 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2 over 24. And divide both numerator and denominator by 2. The final answer is 1 over 12. So, that is in the simplest form. 1 over 12. 2/5 minus 3 over 6. Subtraction naman to So, ang kalang LCD is 30. So, ganun ulit. LCD ang unang kinukuha. And then, divide by the denominator. 30 divide 5 is 6. Then, times the numerator, which is 2. Next. 30 divide 6 is 5. Multiplied by the numerator, which is 3. Next. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. So, 12 minus 15 is negative 3 over 30. Since both numerator and denominator can be divided by 3, simplest form is negative 1 over 10. How about multiplying rational numbers? So, isa ito sa pinakamadali. So, kapag magmumultiply lang tayo ng rational numbers, all you have to do is to multiply numerator to numerator and then denominator by denominator. So, dapat yung ating denominator, hindi yan mag-i-equal sa 0, okay? Halimbawa, 3 over 4 times 5 over 6. Pag minakita kayong ganyang symbol, yung parang tuldok or bilog lang sa gitna, it simplifies multiplication. It implies multiplication pala. Sorry. So, 3 times 5 kasi numerator by numerator. Then, 4 times 6, denominator by denominator. Final answer is 15 over 24. Simplest form is 5 over 8. Lowest term. Next. 2 and 1/4 times 5 and 4, 6. So, ang ating given is a mixed number. Kaya ang ating unang gagawin is to change the mixed number into improper fraction. So, paano po nag-change into improper fraction? Unang gagawin, yung una muna. So, una, 4 times 2. Then, plus 1. Laging ganon. Then, ikakopy lang natin si denominator. Doon sa kabila, ganon din. 6 times 5. Tapos yung sagot, ipa-plus ang 4. Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng 9 over 4 times 34 over 6. Ulit. 4 times 2 plus 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Copy the denominator 4. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 4 is 34. Copy the denominator, which is 6. And then, just simply multiply. Numerator again by numerator, then denominator by denominator. So, that is the final answer is 306 over 24. Simplest form, 51 over 4. Ito ang simplest form. 51 over 4 kasi na-divide both by 6. So, ganyan lamang kapag magmumultiply tayo ng rational number. Next. Ayan. Since yung ating sagot is improper fraction, pwede natin siyang gawin as mixed number naman. Ano ba pag improper fraction? Di ba yung mas malaking numerator kaysa sa denominator? Paano gagawing mixed number? I-divide nyo lamang. 51 over divided by 4. Nasa loob yung 51. Yung remainder, yun ang magsisilbing numerator. Then, the denominator, hindi yung ating 4. Nasa ilalim pa din. Next. Dividing. So, dapat master natin ang multiplying kasi ito ay related sa dividing. Rational numbers. Ito naman, ang gagawin dito, una, ito. Halimbawa, 4 over 5 divided by 2 over 3. So, ang gagawin lamang dito, una, is to get the reciprocal of the second fraction. Diba ang second fraction natin or the divisor is 2/3. So, ang reciprocal niya or kabaliktaran is 3 over 2. Yung nasa baba, dadalhin sa taas. Then, yung nasa taas, dadalhin sa baba. Then, after that, yung division, gagawin na nating multiplication. Ayan. Get the reciprocal, then proceed to multiply. Ganun ulit. Pag magmumultiply, numerator, numerator, denominator times denominator. 4 times 3 and 5 times 2 is equal to 12 over 10. Kapag isinimplify, di-divide both by 2, the answer is 6 over 5 or 1 and 1/5. So, yun lamang and thank you. Mag-aral na mabuti. God bless. Stay safe, everyone.